apologies for being late. I know. Wait, give me a moment. Hello. Hello there. My apologies once again for being a little bit late. Hello, hello, Benu. Hello, Blaspy. Hello, Shipsin. I'm sorry, I've been late. I have been doing blue matcha latte, and things went out of control as always. Everything started spilling out because I kept on rushing, which was the stupid thing to do. But oh, hello, Pochin. Hi. But yeah, that happened. My apologies. I just needed something to drink during this stream because guess what? I thought I know why I have stomachache, but I did not. My refluxes, which I struggle with every fucking year, has come back again, which is fantastic. You know, it's like, oh god, amazing. You know, it's like your stomach hurts, my throat hurts, it sucks, I hate it, and I don't even know why, you know, and I just realized, hello vibes, but you know what, that doesn't stop me from streaming! So here we are today, talking about anime from Spring Season 2026 that has ended like a week or two ago, but guess who was very much behind and still is very much behind? This bucket Anuki here, yeah, me! I have not been. Actually, I should fix my mic. Sorry. Now I should be. It should be a bit better. Hopefully. But yeah, this girl here. I am very much behind. But you know me. I've had been in Japan for 2 weeks, and you know that put me in a situation where I was behind with every single anime. Still cannot catch up, don't have energy, I have work, after work I'm like, oh, doing other stuff, creating content, and it's like when is the time to watch anime? It's hard, it's rough. But... Hello, the person, hi! But yeah. But here we are. I decided that I'm not going to wait until I finish everything that I can finish, because then I don't know how long it would take me. So we're going to talk about the anime that I've watched at least one episode of, and talk about them, whether they are good or not, why I stopped watching them, why I didn't give them any more chances, etc, etc. You know how it goes. Oh no, yeah, unfortunately Shipsin, once again, it has returned. I don't know why, because I feel like usually it was due to the stress, right? I have huge issues with stress and all of that, but right now I don't feel stressed out about anything. Yeah, sure, I'm upset that, I still have commissions to do and I feel like I'm doing them slow, but like overall, mentally, I haven't been doing better since forever. So I'm like, okay, well, now you're just being rude, Reflux. Now you're just being rude, but it is what it is. Yeah, so we'll be talking about anime that has finished airing or continues to air, but started airing in spring. And even though I do not finish some of those series, or I did not finish them, and I want to finish them, I will mention that once we get to those anime and mix them up a little bit. So I don't know if it was a good idea, because now I'll have to, you know, look for them, you know, the titles, especially for those that I only watched like one episode of. It's like, oh, what was the freaking title? I don't remember, but we'll manage. Ban your reflux? God, I wish I could. Like, I would ban it everywhere. It would have been like, I would go to the police and tell them that I want a restrictive order against them. Restriction order? Against them. You know, it's like, do not come anywhere close to me. Well, unfortunately, it has returned. It's like a main villain in my life story. Okay, so as you can see, you should see. Wait, Chotto. Okay, you see it. You should be able to see it now. We have, as always, anime on the slider, like on the projector. And let me just get myself a little bit of a help in form of my anime list so I can grab the title whenever I need. It's always this time of the year, roughly. Yeah, I know, right? I was thinking about it, so I was Googling it. It's like, can reflux be seasonal? But they were like, mostly in spring and autumn. And I was like, what? But it's happening in summer. Every single summer is happening. I'm like, what? Doesn't make any sense, right? Maybe it's the heat, but it's cold and all. Right now it's cold as fuck. Maybe it's the cold. I mean, it's not cold as fuck. It's like 18 degrees, but for me it's cold, okay? For me it's cold. I feel cold, personally. So maybe it's the cold. I don't know, but it sucks. That's why I couldn't drink matcha today. That's why I couldn't drink hojicha today. And a tea, because tea is bad for reflux. That's why I was doing blue matcha, because it's from flowers and there have no tea, no caffeine. So, it's safe. Maybe I have an allergy and this is how it shows. Maybe. I don't know, but it sucks. What's like allergy where your stomach hurts? This is stupid. I hate it. I still hate physics speaking. Okay. Physics speaking, you're right. But yeah. So, I think we have like roughly 21 anime that I tried to watch last season, and once again, I failed to finish a lot of them. Some of them I didn't want to finish, so I dropped them, and this one is one of them. It's called Petals of Reincarnation. I don't remember the Japanese title. Reincarnation no Kaben. I found it. And this was the kind of anime that I don't even know why I watched it. I think like the concept of... I think the description sounded way more interesting than it ended up being. So the description of the story was like, oh, it's a universe where you cut your neck, you're going to get superpower, random superpower. It's like you cannot choose, random quirk, you know. And I thought, oh, it's going to be like edgy in a dark way, but no, it just happens, you know. Like I thought it's going to be more dark, like it would, like the characters would be scared, but no, they're just like slashing like normal. And so we have our protagonist who is average at everything, and it's like, if I remember correctly, I think they have like older sibling who is obviously perfect at everything, you know, the cliche thingy. And the guy just like, it's like, of course, he's randomly meeting a girl, which is such a bad introduction to characters. It's just like, you know, there's this character and then random girl comes up to him and keeps talking about how you get these extra powers and something, and then it's like, we're going on a mission, and he's like, okay. It was a mess. You just like, you feel like you're not in the first episode, watching the first episode. And the guy, obviously, like, he doesn't want to be mediocre in life, so he decides, okay, I'm going to, you know, obtain the superpower. Oh my god, the superpower that he gets is basically like a right hand of thief or something like that. So basically he can steal without, you know, without exactly like, you know, perfect, he can perfectly steal. So the first time like it's introduced, I think there's like some thief running away with the bag, and like the guy, how his power is introduced, like he grabs the bag, but it's empty, like there are no insides, and the girl is like, oh, you're useless, you grabbed the bag but nothing from the inside, like you could get, or something like that, and she's mad at him and she leaves, and then he reveals that, actually I stole the rest, but I was an asshole, so I didn't give it to her. And I was like, okay. And then a random fight starts. I don't even know why they're fighting. Genuinely, I have no freaking clue why they are fighting. But there's like some powerful guy who keeps on fighting with some katana girl. And then our protagonist, kind of like after the katana girl leaves, I think, or something like that, he jumps in and he's like, yeah, I have powers of theft. And he's like, okay. And then guess what? Guess what he steals? He steals the guy's power, like the enemy's power. And the enemy is like, oh my god, he's so smart! He used this power in a way that I would not expect. He has the strongest power of them all. And I'm like, Jesus. Oh my, this is so cringe. You know, it's like, they try to make the protagonist immediately overpowered. And even like, antagonist at the minute. They're like glazing over him so much. I was like, no way in hell. This is so stupid. I can't watch it. I thought it will be edgy, and it was to a certain extent, but it was edgy in like, it wasn't even, it was like trying to be badass in this very cringe way. Let me read what you wrote, because I was so deep into talking about this stupid anime. It's because of some kind of protein or some shit. Like, I'm allergic to grass, but cross allergic exists, and soy has very similar protein to grass, so I have allergic reaction to soy. Oh. 10% lower volume, please. Of me? Of me or of music? Am I too loud? Wait, let me lower my... I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I just read that. I can also move my mic a little bit further. It's just I felt like when I had this mic a little bit further away from me, higher actually, it was echoing and it started annoying me. So now I'm moving it closer to me, but maybe that was too close. So let me know if now it's better, or if I should move it around or tune it down still, please. And thank you. If this anime wanted to be badass, then they got it half the effect. Yeah, no, this is that was terrible. That was terrible. From the storytelling, it's like best anime for drinking party ever. I mean, like, I'm telling you how I remember it. I don't remember the details because obviously I only watched the one episode, and that came out at the very beginning, which was like 3 months ago or 4 months ago even. So yeah, that was kind of stupid, but it is what it is. I basically dropped it after the one episode. It was a miracle that I managed to watch it until the very end of the episode. So now volume is better, but you know, it's differ CD to CD. What do you mean by CD? Oh, music. Oh, so you meant the music. I can tune it down. Wait, then we don't need it that much. It's really great seeing you put yourself out there and following your dreams. I hope you're having a great day and that future has nothing but the best in store for you. That's a very NPC kind of thing you're putting there, CS1 the first, but I appreciate it. It's a very kind message in the end, even though it's like, I feel like this is a message that you're just like dropping everywhere. As someone who watched like 2 anime, this is interesting to watch. Oh, thank you, Dawn. I appreciate it. Well, I'm trying my best to just, you know, I don't try to over-explain. I try to just say how it made me feel in like the most Neanderthal way possible. So that was the first anime that's, I mean, not the first, like, I'm not going chronologically. It's a random setup that's like, I just dropped the posters as I went and just like moving on. So let's delete that and move on to this anime, which the title, of course, I do not remember, because how could I remember the title of this anime? Meido-san wa taberu dake. So, that's sweet, CS1. This one, I didn't plan on watching, genuinely, but one of my friends was like, oh, it's a chill anime, let's watch together, because like one of the characters, wait, let me grab, maybe I can grab that character. I was laughing that one of the characters looked like me. Like, legit. It's literally, it's basically me IRL, but with long hair. Like, legit. It's like, it's so close to how so that was the character, Nana Komatsu. And because I was laughing, oh, that's me, and then one of my friends said, oh, we should watch it if there is a character just like you, looking like you. So we watched, I think we watched like first 2 episodes, I think. And this anime is basically about this girl who's a maid who was moved to Japan because her master's mansion, I'm sorry, like the big house, has been like I feel like they're renovated or something like that. So she had to move to Japan for like stay in Japan because I think she was on a trip to Japan, and he told her she has to stay in Japan for a little bit longer, which is kind of weird that she has to rent an apartment when she has a grandmother in Japan. So it was quite confusing. But basically, the anime is about food. How the anime looks like is basically every episode has like 2 or 3 segments where the maid or girl is eating different kinds of Japanese food. So basically something I did when I was in Japan, and she just learns how to eat it, what it's made from, you know, like all the like cultural customs, the origins sometimes of the food. So overall, like this anime has literally no plot. Like obviously there is some kind of side plot where she gets friends or something like that, and you know, that do silly little things, but the legit thing about this anime is basically an encyclopedia of Japanese food, which if you're interested in what snacks there are in Japan, I guess this is kind of like more fun form than just simply reading about that stuff. And it's just like you watch anime and they explain to you how things taste like, how you eat them, what they're made from. Like, you know, you learn a little bit about Japanese cuisine when it comes to, mostly when it comes to snacks, right? And, you know, it's a chill anime, it's a little bit silly, it's a little bit cute, mostly cute. I have it on hold because I'm only watching it with my friend, and if she ever remembers that, hey, we were watching this anime and we will go back to it, then we'll watch it. If not, then it will be forever on hold, or maybe I'll finish this one alone at some point. But this one, I definitely am not rushing to finish. Would I recommend it? I don't know, if you just like want to learn more about Japanese cuisine, then I guess it's a nice simple way to learn some things. Although do not expect some exquisite kind of like cuisine. It's like one of the most recognizable things like taiyaki, takoyaki, dango, castera, all those kind of things that you can often see in different anime that characters eat, basically. But maybe if you are quite recent with anime watching and you don't know what those characters eat and you always wondered about it, this is anime for you, maybe. Sadly, can't stay since I'm too busy to reliably watch streams, but still wanted to give a little message to support them in a way. And I appreciate it. Once again, it feels like a copy-paste that you just like jump into the streams and paste it. But then again, if it's a positive message, nothing's wrong with that. And I appreciate it because you still took your time to just jump in there and send a message. And you even sent like 3-4 messages by now. Trying a little harder to not just be one of those people who just like tweets and stuff and never saying anything. Nothing's wrong with that, you know. Some people just like to quietly lurk and quietly support, and obviously the ones that are louder are giving more support in a way because like they you know trigger the algorithm better. But still, like, I appreciate every single person who does anything at all to push my content forward, so don't feel bad about it. Anyway, good luck with streams, hope it goes well. Thank you, have a nice day. The only anime I've watched are Nichijou, like that one, and High School DxD. It is very unenjoyable, and the worst media I've watched also, I was forced to watch it, so anime is a 50-50 for me, not gonna lie. You watch 2 entirely different anime. You have Nichijou, which is basically like a very fun comedy, but also it's quite unique. And then you watch literally ecchi anime, which it's another spectrum of the anime, and genuinely I cannot blame you for being 50-50 after watching those two, because Nichijou is great while ecchi anime mostly are yeah, they exist, you know? For me, they exist, and I used to watch a lot of them because back in the days when I started watching anime, I thought this is normal. You know, this is the funny part about when you start watching anime, at least back in the days. Right now, I feel like it's not like that because anime is way more mainstream and people just heard about it and start off with some Hero Academia or Demon Slayer or whatever, it doesn't matter. But like back in the days, you didn't know where you start, so you watched anything, and it just so happened that most of anything had like a lot of ecchi elements, like Love Hina, Zero no Tsukaima, Mahou Sensei Negima, all of those anime, and you're just like, oh no, it's normal in anime, right? It's normal that those kind of ecchi jokes are there, because then you jump onto Bleach and those like boob jokes and everything, it happens in shonens as well, so just less often, but it still happens, so you think, oh, it's a norm in anime, and then you learn, oh wait, it's not a norm, it's just a genre. And you're like, why was I watching ecchi for so long when I could have been watching something better? But it's too late, and you end up with a huge list of ecchi anime completed. In my opinion, if she's seen this too, he's seen everything. In a way, yeah. In a way, you went through the entire spectrum with those two, and you're right, anime is like 50-50. You either drop something, like, you get into something good, or you drop into something bad. And there's like things that are mediocre that you just forget about. Like High School DxD is what non-anime fans think anime is, and I don't blame them when this is the second anime I watched. Yeah, it's basically, you're so right, Don. As an anime fan, I do not disagree. So that was it. Moving on to the next one on our list, which is Tongaribushi no Atelier, Witch Hat Atelier, which most of people probably recognize the title of. A story about Coco, a girl who loves magic, but she knows that the magic is only done by the witches. But one day, she takes a peek at what Kifri, one of the witches, male witch, by the way, they don't call themselves wizards for some reason. They're all witches. So she sees how he draws, and this is how you do magic. And she's like, oh, maybe if I draw it, it can happen as well. And lo and behold, it happened. So witches are all bunch of dirty liars, and they tell commoners that they cannot do magic, while everyone could do magic. But then Coco is also kind of being stalked by brimmed hats, which are basically also witches, but they seek freedom, because like witches I forgot how they're called, but those that are technically the good witches, they're very controlling. Once again, they're not telling the truth to people that everyone can actually do magic, right? So it's very controlling, it's very suspicious that they're doing it like that. But brimmed witches are not exactly good either, because even though freedom, like they seek freedom, which is nothing, but technically they're doing it in a very ominous way. So our Coco joins Kifri, and she becomes his disciple, while learning magic to make sure that she turns back the spell that she casted. Obviously, she did not want to cast it. I mean, she wanted to cast it, but she didn't want anything bad to happen, and something bad happened. I don't want to spoil it, even though it happened in the first episode, but still, I don't want to spoil it. And she joins Kifri as she learns magic and go through many trials while still being haunted by those brimmed hats. I think the beginning of the story may feel a little bit stagnant, and a lot of people may question, like, why are people saying it's all good? It's just because Kifri is hot and the animation is good. No, this story is actually pretty intriguing. The universe is wonderful and quite magical. Haha. Because it's about magic, get it? But it's kind of like, for me, it always gave me a vibe of like, what if Howl's Moving Castle was more fantasy rather than like less modern and military and more fantasy? I felt like it would give me this kind of vibe. And although I personally feel like I enjoyed reading manga much better, and I still have to catch up to manga. I have all the volumes available in my country at least. I still haven't catch up to that. They are standing there and looking at me, yelling at me, shame, you have not read us yet. And I have to, at some point I have to. But yeah, I really love the story. I think the characters are quite well written. I know at the very beginning it may not feel like it, but they are actually very intriguing, and I know a lot of people are happy about it because, you know, when a female writes girls, underage girls, they're not sexualized, so it's like, oh, finally something, you know, something that has kids in it and it's not sexualized, so thank you. For me, it's just, I love fantasy, and to see so many great fantasy anime getting adaptations finally, like Frieren and Dungeon Meshi, and Tongari Boshi no Atelier. Those three also different from each other, but still have this kind of like fantasy vibe to it, and I'm glad that we're finally getting some of that without some stupid isekai or ecchi or like stupid I'm a hero so I'm going to save everyone, or I'm a noob but suddenly I got powers, you know, all of that kind of bullshit. It's free of it and I love it, and I can recommend it to anyone who loves fantasy, and trust me, it's going to get better because I did read a little bit more than was in the first season. It gets more interesting, the story gets much deeper and darker, and the characters get so much development to the point that you're just like, for me it was like, if Olurujo didn't exist, I would have hard time to choose which one is my favorite character. My new fixation, hell yeah. Hello, Given, hi! Good comparison. Manga is so pretty and I don't know, it's nice. I can focus on it like it's Ghibli. Oh, so you agree? Oh, okay. I can't focus on it like it's Ghibli. You cannot focus on Ghibli? I mean, okay. I feel like for somebody who has like a different kind of brain than mine, I feel like Ghibli can be overwhelming because of how much is like happening in the background, and you're just like, this is so pretty that you kind of get distracted from the story that is presented, or at least I'm going to think of your words, Ships, in this way. I don't want you to ruin this picture for me. Mia Reborn. Show was alright, but plot slash characters a little bit flat for now. Last few episodes was a lot better. Hope next season will be more interesting. Yeah, I agree. Once again, that's why I said at the very beginning is pretty stagnant, and it may feel like it's underwhelming, but the more you learn about this universe, the more intriguing it gets. And I think that's what kept me going. Not the characters, but the universe itself. Like, I wanted to know about the Brimmed Witches more. I wanted to know the Brimmed Heart Witches. I wanted to know why are they keeping it a secret? Like, I wanted to know those kind of things. You know, Coco's story is very simple in a way, right? So I didn't feel like the push to read more because of Coco. I wanted to read more because of the universe. I'm not meaning harm, but pacing is smooth and hypnotizing. Okay. This way. But I will agree, the very beginning, I'm going to say, the very beginning was quite slow. It looked beautiful, but it was quite slow. But nonetheless, very good anime. Honestly, I would love to recommend it to anyone, but I know a lot of people don't like Frieren because it's slow paced, and for me, Frieren is one of the best written stories ever. And if somebody, I mean, it's like, I know a lot of people just rage bait me, saying like Frieren is boring. But it's just so annoying to me because I feel like they do not understand the meaning behind the story of Frieren, and it makes me want to cry genuinely because it feels like people don't consume fiction in a way it's supposed to be consumed. Like, don't get me wrong, there are some fictional stories that don't need any special consumption. You just sit, watch, and like, haha, hee hee. The end of it, right? Frieren is not like that, and Tongari Boshi no Atelier, I think it's like in between. It's like it wants to say something more, but it also has like a simple story to follow. So, I don't think it's as slow paced as Frieren. Chunin exam is hard to get through. Then it's good because they are meaning behind. Yeah, but a lot of people are like, oh, it's boring, nothing's happening. I'm like, nothing's happening. Have you seen the Stark fighting with the dragon? You don't even know how many times I rewatched that scene. Stark's my favorite. It's not even it's not even a secret. I love Stark. I love him as a character. He keeps me going. He's just like cutie patootie. And you know, it's like, I know I'm getting distracted for our topic, but I just gotta say, it's just, for me, every time, like, obviously, because I know Frieren is badass. So when Frieren does something badass, I'm like clapping, but I expected it. Fern is cold-hearted in some way, so I expect it from her as well. But Stark is such a silly goober, so when he's doing something cool, I'm like, oh my goodness! hold me, because I'm way too excited right now. and people say it's boring. I'm like, what's the... Okay, never mind. I'm not going to converse about anime with you anymore. Unless I will be talking shit about Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling, now that's a boring anime. Okay, but moving on. Tungari Boshi no Atelier, Witch Hat Atelier. Amazing, amazing. Please watch it. Please read it if you like reading manga. Moving on to... Oh, okay. This one's embarrassing. This one's... for me, it's embarrassing. The title of it is... Let me find it. Himekishi wa Barbaro e no Yome. It's like Barbarian's Bride. The Warrior Princess and the Barbarian King. I was so excited for this one because, you know, it's like, it's not very often that you don't get a lanky prince type of guy in fantasy romance. So I was like, oh my god, this one's a barbarian, he's unshaved and all that bullshit. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be hot. It's just cringe. It's not funny, it's not epic, it's, this is a disappointment. I was so mad that it was delayed for 1 season later. And it still looks like shit, by the way. Like, the art style itself is not bad. Although, they did, I think, like, they made him more ooh. The Barbaric King, they made him more ooh than I would like. But they still use 3D animation, that's very shitty. The story is basically about this princess who doesn't want to be like princess-like. She fights like a warrior, but obviously people expect for her to get married. But, you know, she's like a fighter, not like a damsel in distress to be married off some man and, you know, raise children or whatever. And then she gets taken by this barbaric king and she's like, oh my god, he will want to like, you know, off me, or he's going to do something bad to me. But he's just like, be my wife. And that's the whole thing about her being stupid and not like getting it through her thick head that he just wants to love her. And it's just so stupid. I hate it. You like open Denken, my guy. Oh, Denken! Denken is amazing. I love Denken. I like a lot of opening for this one. He's unshaved and not even okay. Okay. Have I ever been hiding? I'm always saying though that I do not like smoking in real life. I think smoking looks hot, but it's not hot in real life, okay? But when Barbarian cast his ult screaming, I laugh so hard. Yeah! So the Barbarian's special attack is like he starts yelling and you're like, huh? This is it's terrible. I mean, like there were some moments that were cringe to the point of it's kind of funny that it's that cringe. But it's not worth watching. I think I dropped it after like second or third episode, because the whole story is around the blonde girl slowly realizing that, oh, barbarians aren't actually that barbaric. They actually also have like families, culture, and all of that. So it's like, girl, how stupid were you? It's like, how brain celled were you? What the heck is wrong with you? They call her strong and like smart, but she's actually one of the dumbest characters you could meet. So yeah, if you're a sucker for romance and you don't mind romance being like stupid, then go for it. I would personally not recommend, because there are, I think, I know it's hard out there for romance fans, because a lot of romance anime are shit. I know what I'm talking about because I watched them. And I think this one isn't good either. But still, I believe you can somehow find better romance anime than this one. So please don't waste time on it. It's not worth it. I'm disappointed that I waited so long for it, only for it to be so shite. After third, I think, yeah, it was in the third episode when they went to some kind of village and she stayed with some women who were like, oh, we lost husbands during war. And she's like, oh my god, actually, oh, I did not think about it, but when I unalive enemies, they have families too. I'm like, oh! And then like some 3D chicken came out and I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I turned off the episode. That's why let's move to something good. Don't worry, I'm going to talk without spoilers. Dorohedoro second season, which was 10 episodes long. This was one of the greatest things I've watched this season. One of the things that I managed to finish because it was only 10 episodes long. So I only had like one episode behind when I came back from Japan. Let me tell you, I've waited so long for this season. I was against watching Dorohedoro for so long because of the 3D animation. I'm so glad I watched it in the end because it's like one of my favorite anime of all times. I'm not even joking around. I think it's one of the most fun stories and one of the most fun way of writing story because it's kind of messy in a way, but messy in a way that I like it. Because, you know, sometimes you have those kind of anime where you don't know what's happening and you're upset about it. And in Dorohedoro, I feel like you don't know what's happening exactly, but you have a vague idea why the characters are doing things. Like, they're what they want to achieve is pretty clear. It's just like you don't know why things are happening to them like this. But overall, the story is basically about Kaiman, who, as you can see, he has like a lizard head. And that's the thing, somebody cursed him to have this kind of head. So he's looking for a person who has cursed him, and he has another head, a human head inside of his head. Like when he basically almost swallows somebody, a person can see a head inside of him. And he's like, do you know this guy? It's like, do you know what's going on? Were you the one who cursed me? And like, usually the head says, no, that's not the guy, that's not the guy, or something like that. I know, the concept is weird. And basically that's like the main plot of the story. Kaiman trying to find a person who cursed him, because in this universe, the witches also exist. Once again, we have witches. I think they were called witches. That have pact with demons or devils, I don't remember. And that's the main premise. It's like him trying to find who cursed him to get back to how he used to be, and he doesn't remember how he used to be because he also has amnesia. And the girl right next to him, Nikaido. I had to get her name back from my mind palace. Nikaido helps him out with that because she's the one who found him and even named him Kaiman. And the whole universe is like, there are two places. There is a hall where people with no magic, no powder to make magic live. And there is like the world of witches where, you know, they live much better. And they're like, you know, and the universe is very interesting. For me, the whole has very much vibe of, you know, 2000s or 90s in Poland. Like, you know, like the blocks is dirty, there's a graffiti everywhere, you know, some hobos here and old playgrounds, all of that, this kind of vibe, and I love it. I adore it. It's great, it's fantastic, it's one of a kind. It's rarely this kind of vibe is being presented in anime. Was it in Mages in the series? I don't remember. Maybe Mages. You're on carousel and everything is one big mess, but still part of a picture. Maybe Mages, I don't remember. You see, I've watched so many animes, like, you know, in Chainsaw Man it's devils, not demons, and, you know, everything is like, for me right now is sorcerers. Yeah, you're right, sorcerers. That's how they were called, sorcerers. And second season, a lot of people were waiting for a second season because this is where things get real dark. And, you know, even in first season, you go to like wild rides. Trust me, let me tell you. At first, it's like, oh, silly, goofy. But then you have those moments where you're like, holy, what's going on? In second season, it goes even beyond. There was one moment when I had to literally look away because I couldn't handle the goriness of it. I was like, oh, yikes, no, thank you. But it's all of those elements is what makes Dorohedoro fun. And unfortunately, it's still unfinished, so we'll have to wait for the third season and I would believe final season to get the end of the story, but this was a wild ride. I loved it, every second of it, every episode of it. I adored it. I love the characters. They're all so different, so colorful. I think it's one of those anime where you're not really cheering for anyone because you like most of the characters. And it's even harder because of that, right? Because like you want you want everyone to live happily, but because they are against each other, like, you cannot, and it's very frustrating in a way that, like, oh, I want everyone to have happy ending, but not everyone will have happy ending, because for this character to be happy, this character has to be unhappy, or something has to happen to them, and it's so sad and upsetting, but this is how good story writing works. So if you have not watched Dorohedoro, please do give it a chance, unless you're very against gore. I wouldn't say like it's always gory, but there are moments where there's a lot of, like, you know, flesh or something like that happening. So you are warned. You have been warned. I told you. Once again, please watch it. It's funny. It's interesting. It has a lot of action. And it has a lot of soul, and like there are a lot of emotional moments as well. So you may be confused, but it's fine. At the very end, you will still be confused, but slowly you'll start to understand things. And this is the fun part, because I read manga, so I know how it's going to end. But it's the fun part that in part 2, people think they start to understand what's going on, but things are getting even more complicated. And not until you see the very end you understand what's going on. So that was Dorohedoro. Once again, highly recommended anime. I know 3D may not be your cup of tea, but it's worth it, because manga is very hard to read. Unfortunately, manga is very hard to read because the artist Hayashida has a very, very messy art style. And now we have Marriage Toxin, which I finished with my friends. Thankfully, we have watched it together, because without them, I think this would be one of those anime that I would still be having in my list to watch. This is another anime that I've known about because I read manga previously. I even recommend the manga to Shipsin, and he read that as well to a certain point in the story. Because like when I read it, it was still ongoing. It didn't have that many volumes, I believe. And the story is about, I don't remember the names of the characters, so I'm sorry. About an assassin, this blue-haired guy. This is so embarrassing that I do not remember their names. But he's an assassin whose sister is, she likes girls, right? But because he's in like assassin clan, she should be married off and have kids and offsprings, you know, to continue the legacy. So he decides, I will sacrifice myself so my sister can live happily with her girlfriend, waifu, whatever. But for that, I will have to get married. And it's like, at first he's like, doesn't really care about it, but then he learns that, maybe marriage is not so bad after all. So he wants to get married, and with help of this guy, yes, because this blonde one is actually a male. I know a lot of people are in denial, but it is a male. He's looking for a waifu, and it just so happens that most of the waifus he's looking for are also connected to some assassination world, and usually he's basically taking on quests. So he's basically getting waifus through quests. He takes their job and he helps them, usually saves them, not exactly in the way of damsel in distress, because they are having their own growth, which is a good part of the thing, the story, right? Because you may think, oh, he saves them all, they're all damsel in distresses. No, they're not. They all have their issues, but they're also working out their own way to solve those issues with his help. Main heroes, Gero and Kinosaki. Oh, Gero-kun. So Gero-kun, the glasses guy, is the one who's looking for waifu, and Kinosaki is the con artist mostly. Like he basically you know, he seduces people and steal their money or like whatever. And technically Gero was supposed to kill him as for request of some guy, random guy, I don't remember his name, but because like he knows that he sees that this is not a bad guy, so he saves him, and it's like, now you help me, I'll pay for the treatment for your brother, because that's why Kinosaki is getting money in such a dirty way. He needs it for his brother's treatment. So Gero is like, I will pay you money, so you will be my romance advisor. This one was tough for me. I think the concept itself is good. The animation is good. The pacing is fine. The action scenes are very well drawn, but I feel like something was missing. I think it was like level above Sakamoto Days, but just like Sakamoto Days, I feel like there was an element, which is funny because like I remember after like first episode or two, I was like, oh, it's like it has what Sakamoto Days does not have, and I still agree with that, but I still feel like it still lacks something. I think it was good, but it's like I was missing the drive to keep on watching episode after episode. Like there was no such a thing within me like I had with some other anime that we will be talking later about. Like in Dorohedora's case, right? In Dorohedora I was like, oh my god, next episode. In here I was like, okay, next episode. I maybe it's because I've already known the story, even though I did forget a lot of details because it's been a while since I read the manga. I still feel like, I don't know, something I was like, it was nice, but it didn't have enough hype. Had good moments, but most of the time I didn't feel anything while watching this anime. Story is too shonenized. Yeah, I think maybe because like the story is very linear, so it's basically we go on a mission, we meet a girl, we learn about the girl, we defeat the bad guy, and the girl is free. We romance out the girl, but we're not like getting a final girl yet. And on to the next mission. And it's true that later on, the characters are being like mixed up and they keep on returning. It's not like, oh, the girl appears once and never to return again. No, it's not like that. But I feel it's because like at the very beginning of the story is like that, that's why it feels less dynamic and way too linear to enjoy it more. Half of the enjoyment of this anime comes from watching his friends, to be honest. And main character isn't growing in a meaningful way, or at least it looks like it. Yeah, I think the problem is that Gero realized something very early on, and he keeps on going, and he breaks the barriers that he's afraid of. Like, for example, he doesn't eat food made by other people because he was taught that he can be poisoned at any time or whatever, right? He shouldn't be trusting that. But then he eats something cooked by somebody else. And those kind of like small things are happening to him, but I don't think like they are meaningful for him. I feel like they're like more meaningful, like, oh, I mean, they are meaningful, but not in a way that you feel like he's growing as a character, because he already grew. He learned like what's important in life at the very, very beginning. I think maybe that's why like he's trying to be less awkward basically and have more reason. That's what he's trying to get. But this also is kind of like, obviously he's not going to get ultimate reason, because him being a little bit awkward and a little bit silly is a part of his personality, and I don't think it's going to change. Meanwhile, like the female characters actually like we're kind of like discovering them fully through the story, so the focus technically is more on them than on him. Fighting was kind of boring, but I'm not target audience. I love music, voice acting, characters are cool. Yeah, the characters are cool, I agree. The designs of the characters are fun, they're simple, but you look at them and you know what kind of character this will be, so they're very, you know, they know what they were doing in this department. Voice actor is amazing, but you know, you have to go for very mediocre anime for voice actors to not care too much about voice acting. And the music, I don't remember the music exactly, but I like the opening and ending. Music annoys you? Oh, that's interesting. I don't remember it that much. Still, I feel like if you like some more easygoing shonen, this is something for you. If you don't mind this kind of like harem, but not exactly harem, like, because this is a very casual, I would call it casual harem. This is something that I always called the word God only knows, a casual harem, which it's not exactly harem because like the character is not interested in dating all of them, but still gets them girls interested in him. So yeah, it was enjoyable, but not enough for me to be like, oh my god, it was so great. I think I enjoyed it more while reading, personally. Still doesn't change the fact that the animation was really good. Drop wasn't enough for me. Was speeding up, but got stuck and ended up like car that have choking engine or something. I see. I don't think I focused that much on the soundtrack, to be honest. Like, I think there were a few times I was like, oh, that's cool. But it wasn't like in another anime that I'm going to glaze so much today. But we're going to get to that point. So, March Toxin, thank you so much. Once again, I think for people who just started watching anime, it's one of like a good anime to start off with. Because it's very casual. I feel like it's very casual friendly. So I can safely recommend it to those kind of people. Moving on to Yami no Tsugai, or Demons of the Shadow Realm. I think that was the title in English. If you do not know Yami no Tsugai, it's from the same creator that has created one of the best anime of all time, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. What can I say? I did miss those kind of characters. Hiromu Arakawa, if I'm not mixing up her name, because I'm stupid and I love to mix up the names of mangaka. So let me just quickly check if I'm not making a clown of myself real quick. Yes, Hiromu Arakawa. Hiromu Arakawa is great at writing stories, at writing shonens in a way that you enjoy them, in the way that you're excited to see what's going to happen next, because her characters are fun. It's just, I don't know, it's clear that she puts a lot of elements that she loved from Fullmetal into this one as well. Like the concept of siblings. She loves writing siblings, where like, you know, one is more rough while the other one is like a little bit more soft, but they still can kick ass, both of them. I gotta say, this is one of the best anime of this season that came out. I'm behind it a little bit, but once I get to it, because I didn't even try, I'm trying to watch the anime that I know I won't have like that much dynamics in, because I know when I sit down and watch Yami no Tsugai, I can watch it all. I don't know, some newbies would go scared when they find out that blonde waifu from anime has something between her legs. Okay, but it's immediately spoke up about, and you know, a lot of newbies also are, you need to remember that a lot of normies come from America, where they love queer representation. So they're like, oh my god, it's like she, they, he, they, them, and you know, they're like excited about it. So I wouldn't worry about it too much, because like, oh, LGBTQ representation, woo, you know, which there is a representation legit. It's like not even from Kinosaki, but from Gero's sister, right? So I think because of that, they have a pass. But back to Yami no Tsugai. The story is about two siblings. Actually, we start off with one sibling, Yuru, the blonde guy, who lives in a village. So you're like, oh, it's going to be like, you know, olden times kind of thing, because he fights with a bow, he hunts, you know, they work on fields and all of that. But then soldiers come in with guns and everything, and suddenly you realize, oh, never mind, it's modern times, it's just the village that's like outdated. And why it's outdated is all to somehow, it's very complicated really, because we don't really know at the very beginning, so maybe I'm not going to dwell into it, because I can get into spoilers territory, which I do not want to go to. But Yoru has a sister whose name is Asa. Yuru, not Yoru, sorry. Yuru, which is Asa. And the thing is, he doesn't see, like, the sister he knows is locked up in kind of a cage where nobody really can see her, and like other than Yuru and like two other people. So he's very much, but okay, I'm sorry, I need to lock in, I'm sorry. And for some reason she cannot come out. It's like, they say it's dangerous for her or whatever, she has to be there. And Yuru, you know, she's always been there, so he just accepts that. But then suddenly, a woman who says, "Oh no, I am your real sister," comes in, and suddenly it appears that he was living in a lie, and now he has to run away from this village because people are chasing him. The villagers aren't to be trusted, and there's just one random guy called Deda who's like, "Trust me, my dude, I'm going to keep you safe." And then he's like, "Now you have to activate those daemons." So, in this universe, amazing idea by Hiromu Arakawa is to make this kind of power system where characters have two familiars in a way, which are completing each other. They're like complete opposites. So Yuru gets two beings that are like stone statues that are called left and right. So, you know, the polar opposites, left and right, and they both have like, both are powerful beings, and like all of different characters have their own kind of familiars. Like there is a bunny and a turtle, so like, you know, from the tale of Bunny, like the rabbit and the turtle race. There is a tanuki and kitsune, for example. Like there is like upper jaw and lower jaw, you know, it's like upper teeth, lower teeth, you know. So, an amazing kind of concept, and the whole story goes how Yuru tries to find himself in the new reality of, oh my god, the modern times, what is it? Like, he doesn't understand what car is, he doesn't understand how apartment works, he knows nothing. And Asa, who has escaped with their parents earlier on, who knows all of it and has changed through time, both visually and with personality in a way. Left is hot as fuck, I agree. And both of them, after, you know, some situation happening, their targets is to find their parents because they went on a plane and disappeared. They were supposed to go back for Yuru, to come back to Asa and together escape the village where they were before that Yuru started off from. But they disappeared. So their main objective is to find their parents, those two siblings. I know, like, the way I explained it is very messy and may sound like not very interesting, but the pacing of the story is great. The way the dynamics between characters work is fantastic. Hiromu Arakawa really knows how to, once again, I know I'm repeating myself, but she knows how to write characters well. They're all so fun, they're all so different from each other. You're like, you don't know what to expect from any of them. There's like one bald guy, which you would be like, oh, it's just a bald guy, but he's ruthless. Mind you, he's ruthless. Yomi Otsuge was in top 3 in character design, they were good. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just, the fun thing is like, they are not, I mean, some of the designs are pretty typical, right? Like, they're not going any crazy with them. But some of those designs are like, holy, that's so freaking cool. And you're just like, cannot... And even though it's like, I wouldn't say they are quite unique in their own way, you know? Even though they're simple, they're quite unique in their own way. So if you like a good shonen, and if you loved Full Metal Alchemist, please watch this one. It's still ongoing. It has like 2 cours and it's keep on going. Like the first course was in spring. Now it's going to continue through summer. So you can still catch up. Don't worry about it. Or you can wait until it's finished and watch it then. I think you would enjoy it because like for me, sometimes I was like, I want to watch the next episode. Now I have some behind. So when I finally sit down and watch it, I'll definitely be enjoying that. Also, this anime is good in balancing funny moments and more serious ones. Exactly, that's also what Hiromu Arakawa is very good at. She knows when to put comedy, but she also knows when to keep things serious. And she knows when it's the right time to break the seriousness with comic moment that's not cringe, but more of like soft-sided, innocent joke kind of thing. And I love that, I really love that. So, you know, when things are serious, they are serious, and when it's time to break the seriousness, she knows how to swap from like one kind of vibe to the other smoothly without you feeling like, oh my god, you threw me off so badly. So please watch Yomi no Tsuga, it's definitely worth it. It's one of the best anime of this season. I'm definitely going to keep on watching it, and I hope that once I finish those 24 episodes, it will have a continuation. Although I don't know how far the manga is, because when I started reading the manga, it kept on going. And it wasn't really that far away from what we've seen in anime so far, so I worry that we'll have to wait a little bit longer because I don't think it's finished story yet. But I believe in Hiro Arakawa. She has never disappointed me. No matter what she wanted to write, she never disappointed me, so I'm going to keep on watching it. Moving on to Rooster Fighter. Okay, this one technically I talked about when we were watching trailers, because back then I already watched 3 episodes, but let me repeat myself. Rooster Fighter is boring. Okay, they had an idea for, haha, what if we make shonen, but instead of normal characters we have roosters, and that's basically it. In first 3 episodes there was like maybe 1 or 2 jokes that were, oh, because there are chickens, kind of thing. But other than that, it was really just your shonen. They tried to cover that it's shonen with chickens, and it shows that they failed miserably. It was unfunny. It was, you know, the type of comedy that in your like most basic as hell shonen you get, just or in anime in general, like, you know, the cringe kind of jokes that try too hard to be funny, and you've heard them about like hundreds of thousands of times. It's just, that's just not it. Nothing kept me going. The villains, the antagonists look like kind of like Attack on Titan creatures or whatever. They're ugly as heck. They're 3D animated. Nothing. The whole anime was 3D animated, I believe, or most of it at least. So yeah, absolutely not. Roosters are just to make MC be horny without consequences. Exactly, because like, oh, chicken, you know, this is an animal, so obviously it will fuck. And that was like the entire joke. And that was actually the only joke that was funny. I mean, not the rooster fucking another chicken and a hen, but the fact that the black rooster I think, oh my god, now that I think about it, it's just like they basically made an adult film plot within a shonen anime about roosters, and that was wild. Yeah, it was funny first episode, but when you continue into the second and third, you're like, this is not funny. They ran out of jokes already, and this is embarrassing. So yeah, do not watch Rooster Fighter. You're not missing out on anything really, other than some rooster action. If, I don't know, maybe you're passionate about roosters and hens and all of that, then I guess go for it, but I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, that one scene was funny, but everything else was meh. Exactly. So let's move on. Rooster Fighter, not worth it. Then we have Akane Banoshi, which unfortunately I still haven't finished watching, not because it's boring, because I really like it, but it's because like I have to focus on this anime. Because this anime is about telling stories, telling old tales, and all of that. Akane Banoshi is a story of the girl called Akane who wants to become Rakugoka, just like her father was before, some old grumpy guy who is on top of Rakugo. Rakugo is basically kind of like comedy skits, but you're the one who's telling the story, and you have to do a lot of voice acting, you have to be dynamic, you have to do noises, you know, you have to move with your body, with your arms, while you keep on sitting, mind you. So that's what Rakugo is, to quickly explain it. And so a grumpy old guy who's on top, like top master of Rakugo, told Akane's father, you suck, and he had to quit Rakugo. But Akane is determined because she loved how her father told the stories through Rakugo, so she wants to do that as well. And she continues on this journey while trying to also figure out why her father was, like, you know, exactly kicked out in a way. Because there was no clear explanation for that, while she learns more and more about Rakugo, how to improve her own Rakugo, because even though her basics are good, there are still some aspects in which she does not understand how she can improve while just, you know, telling the stories, because like every character has different ways of telling those stories, or they have different skills, they focus on different things. And I think that's one of the most fun things, because you think, oh, you're going to keep on hearing the stories, well, when very so often those stories aren't even in the center of attention. It's more of like how the stories are told is what is in the center of attention. Because I was scared that I will not understand, because technically it's supposed to be funny, right? Like, Japanese people know those stories and for them they are funny. I don't know shit about those stories, so for me I'm like, oh, I don't know what's going on. But this anime, what makes it good is that they don't try to overanalyze the stories. They're just telling you what we should focus on in these episodes. Like, in this episode we focus about structure. In this episode we focus about how you should approach the audience. And it's like, for an example, like, I kind of didn't know how to approach different audience when, like, people were, for example, older. And you may think, oh, it was like one episode thing, she learned that and now she's all good. But technically, it comes back later on with another character who's, like, trying to modernize Rakugo, but he doesn't take into consideration that, hey, if I modernize it, not everyone will still understand it, even though, like, old tale, a lot of people would not understand because they don't know old words or old things that are being used in the story. But still, if you put it in the modern world, people from older generations would get it. So this kind of, like, it just shows how much thought it has been put into it. And I would say Akane Barashi definitely is one of the anime. I think it's #1 anime that shows how good voice acting can be. The voice acting is on an entirely different level, obviously, because it's about talking, you know, it's about telling the story. So of course they have to go all different kinds of, like, breathe in, breathe out, like how they breathe while they're telling the stories, how fast paced they are, how slow paced they are, how they change the dynamics, how they change the voices, because, oh, now I'm talking as, like, old man and now I'm talking as a young woman, you know. This is all, it is had to take so much work from seiyus in this one anime that I just love it, and I really want to finish watching it. I think I have like 4 more episodes to go, and I'm excited because I feel like I'm getting close to the finale, so I wonder where it will take me. My favorite character, who looks like Zero, which I did not expect him to be a womanizer. I was like, what? This kind of guy? Are you? I feel like the anime was basically shaming anyone who never liked Zero from Hero Academia, or like forgot about Zero, because, like, apparently he got reincarnated into Akane Banashi and now he gets it all with the ladies. Akane Banashi is one of the animes which grow most on me throughout the story. I would agree. I think it's like at the very beginning you're like, oh, okay, that they're just doing things, but as you go on, you start to appreciate Rakugo more. I feel like you appreciate, like, how much those characters care about that. Because personally, when it comes to characters, I like them. They're quite likable. I don't think there's like a single character that's unlikable other than the old man that was very evil. You know, the old man is very evil, but I feel like he has this, like, more depth into him than I expect him to have. Or at least I hope so, because I still didn't get to the point. Other than, like, some hints that he's kind of fake bitch, actually. So I wonder where this character will be taken. But absolutely, I think it's like, you know, it's like with Rakugo. At the very beginning, you have to the introduction of the story, and the more you hear the story, the further it goes, the more you want to know how it ends, while having some laughs in between and learning some lessons in between. It's a fun show. Obviously, if someone is like action maniac, they won't like it because there's no action whatsoever. I mean, there is word action, but you know, no fighting or anything like that. But if you like anime that's more about like art, and while still being quite funny, still having like a dynamic story to itself, then please watch Akane Banashi. It's really worth it. I enjoy it. I want to finish it. I will definitely be finishing it. Right now, in summer season of anime, things are not going so well for most of the anime that I've watched so far. Other than those that I've watched with friends, I think so. Those are all verified and approved by me. But yeah, I'll have more time in summer, I guess. I'll remember Jugemu Jugemu for a long time after watching this. Oh, Jugemu Jugemu. I still have to learn how to do this one. I will one day, if I won't forget about it. Wait, let me get it. I need to, I'm sorry that I'm going to sound like I have something in my mouth, but I will have something in my mouth and it's like a... It's a tablet for my throat. I need to take it because it's freaking, this throat is annoying the heck out of me. So that was Akane Banashi. Moving on to something of Awashima. I remember this part. Awashima. Stories of Awashima? I'm losing. Awajima, not Awashima. Awajima Hyake. 100 scenes of Awajima. Okay, I was kind of close, but not really. And this one is a story. I don't know exactly, because technically it's a story about girls who attended Awajima High School, which is kind of like a prestigious school for girls who wants to be actresses, songstresses, voice actresses, so kind of this thing. This one had an amazing opening, I agree. Hannah Hope is a vibe. All I'm going to say. I started watching it and it was like quite intriguing because it's one of those anime that's like slow paced, but also has some weight behind their stories. It's just that this is embarrassing, but the character designs were kind of similar to the point where I couldn't tell which character was which one. And I couldn't remember the names and I was like confused throughout the episodes. I was like, wait, who was who? What happened? Who died? And I was like, is this still a flashback or are we back to current times? I was so confused what's happening on screen. I tried to lock in and I was like, I don't know. I don't know those girls. I don't know what's going on. I cannot keep up. I feel like my brain was not built to process this kind of stories. Too many characters. I feel like the concept itself wasn't bad. Like, tell all different kinds of stories within the school where there's a lot of pressure on those girls and, you know, they're living through some romances, some friendships, all of that. It's a fun concept, it's just I couldn't comprehend what's going on. So I cannot even exactly tell you what the story is about. This is a story about school, the stories of teachers, parents, and students and what they went through. There was too much going on. Each episode was about something different. Someone different, yeah. Exactly, and I got it. It's like, oh, they were talking about the teacher, and at first I thought, oh, the teacher was this character, but then I realized, no, the teacher was this character. I'm so stupid. So I think the concept wasn't too bad, but if they were to make it a little bit more clear who is who, it would be much easier for me to watch it. So I dropped it at 2 episodes. If you really like, I don't know, maybe if you like kind of like melancholic kind of stories, this is for you and you can check it out. I cannot recommend it to you because I only watched 2 episodes and even though the vibes were there, I just couldn't focus too much on them. And I feel bad because I feel like it had some structure, but then again, I think if you want to do something emotional and good, after watching Journal with the Witch, I don't know. It put yet another level of how you should write meaningful emotional stories for me. While talking about like, while presenting different issues for different characters, you know, because this is something that you also got in Journey with the Witch. We had like a main character, but we also had 2 main characters actually, but we also had like some other characters that were going through their own struggles, and that was so good. There's some Yuri plot later on, but dropped halfway. Maybe we'll end it someday. I don't mind Yuri plot at all, but yeah, I'm not going to just jump into it just because there are some girls loving each other. So yeah, that was Awajima Hyake? That was the title? Yeah. Moving on to this one. The title, please. This one is a funny story, actually. Funny story. Not the story, but like... Not exactly a story, but like a funny thing. Give me English title. An observation log of my fiancée who calls herself a villainess. So the story is about the girl who got isekai'd into a villainess and she wants to keep her role as a villainess, but she's too nice to be a villainess, so all her attempts fail. But her fiancé, who technically should drop her for heroine, is like, oh, actually, she's interesting, so I like her. And I genuinely thought, oh, it's going to be this one feel-good show that I'm going to watch till the end. But what pissed me off is what it was at episode 3, I believe. There were introduced like 5 guys and 5 girls. And obviously 5 girls were friends of hers, and 5 guys were like sidekick of his, because he was an asshole, so he didn't treat many people as friends. I mean, maybe not asshole, but he's this kind of like, you know, kind of sneaky guy type of thing. And in one episode, I kid you not, in one episode, all of the 5 people, like 5 by 5, they literally all became couples. Because she knows what happens in games, so she's like telling everything to him. And he's like, oh, I'm going to make it happen, or I'm not going to make it happen, or I'm going to prevent that, like, because like, in the story, like, for example, her mother is dying. So he's like, oh, I'm going to, or, yeah, her mother, I think. Oh, I'm going to find a cure before that happens, because, like, the cure is being found, but it's found too late. So when she tells him how to find out this cure, he's like, okay, we go for it, and then we're saving your mother. And, you know, it's a fix-it universe, basically, which I hate. This one was so cute. It was cute, I admit, but it's like, it pissed me off to the point, it's like when 5 couple, I don't know if there were 5, but I'm more or less saying 5 couples became basically like legit, like put down the stamp, they're legit in one episode. I was like, what? I thought they will have like more time to have each episode for themselves, and I was like, oh, it's going to be cute stories and all of that. But no, still, I think the protagonist was cute, and like the couple together, they were cute, and I have to thank Twitter, because thanks to Twitter I've seen all of the cute scenes without having to watch the anime. So even though I dropped the show, I've seen all of the cute scenes. So, you know, I don't think you have to watch it. I think all you have to do is go on TikTok or Twitter and just like search for the tag of this anime and just watch all the cutest scenes, and you'll be content with it. You don't need anything more, because if you think there's some context, there barely is any, so you're not missing out on much. So yeah, I dropped it. I think it was cute though. So this kind of crazy, that's why I said it's kind of funny story, that I did not watch it, but I still enjoyed the content from it, you know. I feel like such a TikTok-brained kid because of that, but you know, it is what it is. But if you don't mind like the silliness of 5 couples becoming together in one episode and you want to keep on going, then you can watch it entirely. I think it was like simply feel-good show. One of those that you watch and you're like, oh, it was cute, it was sweet, and you don't mind it. So there was that. Now, The Drops of God, an anime about wine. The story of this one is like this guy on the right. He has a father who is a sommelier, and he's like, fuck you, dad, I'm not going to be a sommelier. So he joins alcohol company, but in the beer district. And then his father dies. And obviously his father was like one of the most renowned sommeliers, so he left behind quite a huge house and a lot of wine. So he's like, oh, well, he didn't even call me when he was dying, but well, I'm going to the funeral. And then he learns that, you know, there's things like, oh, it's like, oh, am I getting the house and the wines and everything of his? And the lawyer says no, because he was an ass. Your father is a fucking dick, and he adopted another child when you didn't. A young man actually, or rather called him his successor or whatever. And now you have to fight against him in a bottle of wines, and you have to guess which wine, like if the like if the wine is the right wine. Which is crazy. It's crazy. Like, imagine how much of an asshole your father had to be. Obviously, it's probably like a secret of, oh, I wanted my son to appreciate the wine as I did, so he can remember me in a good way instead of holding a grudge against wine or whatever. That's probably where it all went. I don't know, because I dropped it after like 3 episodes, but I can imagine this was like the whole meaning behind it. But it's still like, imagine like you lost contact with your father, he doesn't call you when he's dying, and when he dies, you learn that everything that's like he earned, he gave you like a fucking competition for it. It's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And obviously, while this guy on the left, the glasses guy, has like a lot of knowledge and experience because he trained under him, his son has natural talent. And you know, it's kind of like cliche to the point that to a certain extent it was funny. My favorite part was when they randomly went to a hobo guy to ask for help to find the right wine, and they were just like, they went to a homeless guy. Well, he had kind of like home-ish kind of thing, and they were like randomly started talking to him, and he's like, oh, I have a wine, and he digs out the wine from the ground. I'm like, what's going on? Obviously, later on, the hobo guy ends up not being exactly a hobo, but it was funny that they just like randomly decided to go to this homeless guy and ask him for help with wine tasting. So yeah, it's kind of like stupid in a way that it can be enjoyable, but once again, after 3 episodes, or 3 I think, I was like, it's going to be way too repetitive. It's going to be wine after wine after wine, and we'll be learning about new flavors or whatever, and that's going to be it. So I decided to drop it, especially that it has 2 cours. Can you imagine? It doesn't have 12 episodes, it has 24 episodes. Welcome back, another. Sounds crazy, I know. It sounds crazy, but it's more boring than it sounds, unfortunately. So it's basically kind of like detective stories, but instead of like finding the culprit, you find the right flavor of wine. Or rather, not the flavor, you guess the right name of the wine that you're tasting. I think the concept itself wasn't too bad, but it's just like, it's way too stretched out. 24 episodes is too much for me to focus on such a thing. I don't get why it's too cool. I bet same story could fit better in one. Exactly. Exactly, like 12 episodes would be more than enough. Like, especially when they have like limited amount of wines they have to guess. If they cut it short, it would have been so much better. You'll try to end it. Well, good luck, Shipsin. I gave up on this one, so if you like this kind of like episodic stories, you can check it out, but personally I don't think it's going to get anywhere to the point like you want to watch 24 episodes of that. Then again, I have to remind myself that we've watched fucking Mahjong for 24 Wait, it was 24 episodes. Was it more than 24? Wait, it was 24 episodes, right? I'm not going insane. I sometimes forget that we watched Mahjong and it had more than 1 cour. It's just... It had 25 episodes, yeah. I don't recommend it either. Yeah, it's hard to recommend it, really. It's worse than average. Oh, yeah, it was. It's crazy. Mahjong is like a fever dream. But Mahjong, okay, but Mahjong in comparison to Drops of God, Mahjong was funny edgy. I don't think they did funny edgy on purpose, but it was funny edgy. Yes, absolutely. The finale of Mahjong was one of the best things I've ever watched. Unironically. Second cour was crazy good though. Yeah, I know, right? I think like second half of second cour was good. Like the beginning was fun, then the middle was kind of stretched out, but it was like, it's fine because there were cringe moments that still were funny, and then like the ending was like, wow, what's going on? That was insane. The ending of, oh god, that was good. Tournament arc was good as well. Okay, so that was it. Then we have Digimon Beat Break, which I can sadly announce that I've dropped it. I tried to keep on going. There was like a new arc where like a new villains appeared, but I was like, at this point I was like, I'm so behind with it, and I thought, I can't keep on going. I can't pretend that I want to watch it anymore. Like, I love Gekkomon, but at this point it's just like, there was like one cool episode when they were like doing human auctions or something like that, and that was cool. And there was like underground arena, so the concepts were there. It's just like the story itself. I feel like if they gave up on making it a child show, it would have ended up so much better. Bread girl, oh yeah, bread girl. Imagine I had a lot of unexpected moments. Bread girl who shot herself. I dropped it too, I'm weak. Yeah, it's a shame, because once again, I think the concept behind the universe and all of it was so good. If only they made it a little bit darker, if only they made it less childish, I would have continued, but I couldn't keep on going, so I dropped it. With good heart, unfortunately, I cannot recommend you Digimon Beat Break anymore. Characters are so uninteresting, I agree, unfortunately. Unfortunately. They lack better personalities, I feel like. Not better personalities in a way, like they're nicer, kinder, or something like that, but they are more fleshed out, because like later on they act like such NPCs. And it's sad. Wait, I had this one. Why is it twice? We're going to do that. Okay, now we're talking Nippon Sangoku, the ultimate GOAT of this season. The one anime that's where why we came here for today. This is the anime of this season. If you did not watch it, shame on you, because this is a cinematic masterpiece. This is one of the best animes that I've ever watched. And actually, you know what? Shame on me, because I forgot to do that, but I'm going to do it right now, right here, as soon as I find the, Nippon Sangoku, the absolute GOAT. The story about post-apocalyptic, fictional world of Japan, where Japan has been split into 3 nations and is fighting for the power. What I'm doing right now is going to be absolutely hard, because I don't know what to do. Oh no. Oh, okay, you know what? I'm sorry. Full Metal Panic Fumofu, as much as I love you as a comedy, you need to be removed from my favorites, so you can give a spot to Nippon Sangoku, because this is an absolute masterpiece and I have to have it in my favorites. Now that I think about it, like Dorohedoro is not there. But Dorohedoro has not finale. I don't know. No, oh my god, it's so hard. It's the best anime I've watched. Wow, okay, Shipsin. That's a lot. I mean, I think cinematic-wise, like direction-wise, it is the best anime that I've watched. Like when it comes to directory of the entire project, yes, absolutely. The visuals, the sound effects that are comical in some ways, the art style, the pacing of the story, the epicness of the moments. It is like they don't even have to fight on screen to be epic. Oh my, I'm just remembering all those moments. I'm like, oh, it's so good. And we have a protagonist who has went through a tragedy. I don't want to spoil it, but instead of going for like a revenge story, which in a way he is planning a revenge, but not in like revenge way of Sasuke, I have to kill my brother. No, he's in a revenge of I'm going to do what this person wanted me to do for a long time, because she believed in my skills, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to unite Japan. This is not it. I'm going to unite Japan again, so we can be a great country again. And it's just like so freaking good. The dialogues are so well written. The characters, when they pose a threat, they do pose a threat. When they are like, all of them have more depth to them than you may even think. Even though some characters literally appear as episodic characters, they hold so much meaning behind their position and their actions. Just absolutely breathtaking. Castle scene was so fucking breathtaking. You mean the fight, right? Wouldn't go that far, but I think it's the best anime of the year. Maybe, yeah, best anime of the year. I would give it that. I would give it an absolute banger. Kevin Penkin making soundtrack, which is mwah. The soundtrack, holy crap, everything is good. The opening is great. The ending I did not listen to that much, but I still like it. Oh, it's just... Please watch it. Please, I'm begging you. I know people who watch anime just like me. I don't think I've seen a single person who is creating anime content like I do. Like, you know, like reviewing anime, talking about it, watching seasonal trailers and all of that. I don't think a single person who actually watched it said it's bad. Every single person. Like, maybe they did not put it at peak, but then again, they put... Actually, no, I'm not going to hate on the ReZero anymore because apparently the recent season has been good. But, you know, it's like people who care about anime in a way, it's like it still has to be anime-like. Because Nippon Sangoku is not like anime. It has elements that feel like anime-like. Like, once again, the silliness of sound effects and all of that. But... on its own, it feels like watching a movie instead of watching an anime, and I think that's something that rarely can be achieved within anime world. That fort fight, the bridge scene was epic. Dude, the freaking guy fighting off while being tied in ropes? Absolutely insane! I'm like, this is what I call peak cinema! I'm glad that people who actually gave it a watch saw the potential and love it. I just wish more people have seen it, and I swear to God, I'm going to shove it down my sister's throat if she's not going to win and watch it. I'm going to sit her down, lock her in a chair, and be like, you watch it now. You cannot not watch it. Like, you sit down and watch it. Because it's peak. It's absolute peak. I have no more words. Like, I don't want to say too much because, once again, I don't want to spoil things. Although, I don't think you can spoil things because you need to see them for yourself to truly understand the greatness and epicness of it. Nippon Sangoku, the anime war. Please, give me more of those kind of anime. I hope it will get a continuation. I don't think it has any announcements yet, unfortunately. We live in society where shit anime gets sequels immediately, but good anime have to wait. But then again, I don't mind waiting for as long as the quality of the anime will be as good as for the first season. So that was only the best anime of the season, of the year, even. Nippon Sangoku. Moving on to the next one, which is... Oh, why is it doubled up? I don't know. I'm sorry. Needy Girl... Wait. This one's doubled as well. I think I pasted something twice accidentally. Sorry. Needy Girl Overdose. That I watched the entirety of one episode. One episode. Why, you may ask? Needy Girl Overdose was so hyped up by people, you know, everyone was so excited to watch it. Have you seen anybody talking about it? After first episode, have you seen anybody talking about it? Nobody talked about it. You know why? Because nobody gave a shit. Because nobody understood what's going on in this anime. They will announce it for 2031 because they must search for good sound effects. Maybe. So, yeah, Needy Girl Overdose. Unfortunately, I don't think it was a project that was well thought through, because you just start watching it and you don't know what's going on. People who play the game don't know what's going on, because, like, you know, you can, like, find excuse in, oh, you didn't understand because you didn't play the game. Like, people who play the game, they're like, who's that person? Who's this character? Why is this character doing that? Everyone was confused. It was like a mush. It was the experience of trying to watch, actually, Bakemonogatari again, and yet again failing miserably because I just cannot like anime where I literally don't know what's going on. I feel like it tried to be pretentious in the ways that it just doesn't work well for the audience. And because of that, unfortunately, I just threw it away. I don't know if somebody... New Girl plot was messier than Yanni Neko's through. Wow, that's saying a lot, actually. But yeah, it's a hot mess. I don't know if there's a single. Actually, I want to check how high of a rating did it get. Hello? How did people rate you actually? Show me. Where the heck is this anime? It's non-existent because people didn't care at all. 696. Pretty high for what it represented, but then again, it went down to this because 696 is basically this anime is mediocre. It's like nobody really cares much about it, basically. So yeah, personally, not a fan of that. Even if you're a fan of Needy Girl Overdose, because I've knew some people who were like excited for it, and then the excitement dropped because they were like, oh, this anime is okay. Art style was stunning at times. I agree, like art stylistic wise, it wasn't bad. But the problem is, when do you think it's enough for only stylistics to keep you going, right? Was show throwing monologues instead of having an actual story. Exactly, they just threw some kind of like lines that were supposed to be deep and meaningful, but you just like, they didn't have any structure to them, and you just saw random visuals connected with random monologues, and you just like, maybe you could piece it together. I don't know. Maybe if someone sat down and tried to analyze it. I mean, you can always do that. You know, you can sit down and analyze every line and like try to connect it to the picture. But for a person who just wants to watch an anime, they won't do that. So, you know, it's not like Frieren when you can like still enjoy the story without analyzing what's going on. In here, you either analyze it or you get nothing out of the story other than, oh, it looks pretty at least, you know, and or it looks cool at least. So, Needy Girl Overdose, unfortunately, missed opportunity, I believe, because they could have done something much more interesting. They could go in a way that Perfect Blue, the road that Perfect Blue has taken, which if you have not seen Perfect Blue, please watch it. It's actually a very great movie, and it's still up to date, I would say. Even though it's an old anime already, the movie, animated movie, it still hold itself on a high level to this day. I would know because I watched it last year, I think, again. Amazing movie. So that was Needy Girl Overdose. Moving on to, oh gosh. Give me English title because I do remember that the one, My Ridiculous Reincarnation. So this one tried to be, oh my god, how were they called? Oh my god, I forgot the title of the anime. Wait. Popute Pikku. It tried to be Popute Pikku, but isekai. And you know what failed? Because the concept itself was great. The guy reincarnated into like weirdest things ever and kept on reincarnating and basically going through this randomness. You know what failed? A protagonist. As always, you know what ruins isekai's protagonist? The protagonist ruined it all because he was a stupid simp. I have to admit it wasn't that bad after disgusting start, really. But yeah, I'll keep on continuing my rant because I only watched one episode and I was disappointed because like the concept itself, once again, wasn't bad. Using isekai trope to make kind of fun of it while showing a creative way of, oh, I'm going to isekai and all of their worlds will look different because like I'm being isekai to different worlds, so of course they should look different and like as the weirdest things ever, right? It was enjoyable to have in the background. Okay, I see. But there's of course this goddess that keeps on reincarnating the guy, and the guy is basically a simp, and that was the problem. That was the problem of the anime. He was just like, oh my god, basically step on me, sit on my face, you know, kind of disgusting kind of guy. And it's a shame because if it was just like a chill, maybe not chill guy, but you know, like a guy who's not a freaking pervert simp. If that was like a more fun guy who was like, oh, let's have fun with that and keep on doing that, I would probably continue watching it because like, once again, visually it was fun. The concept wasn't bad at all, and it had some idea behind it. But once again, as always, a freaking protagonist keeps failing me. There's like, okay, one time the protagonist didn't fail me was in Konosuba, I guess, when it comes to isekais. Kazuma is a pervert, don't get me wrong. Kazuma is a pervert, but he's getting punished for being a pervert, so that's fine, right? And that doesn't happen too often. So, yeah. Kazuma! And you could somehow defend Subaru, I guess. I don't know, because apparently the picture of Subaru I have is a fan-made picture of his parents always worrying about him where he disappeared to, so it's all sad, and you know, and no one really mentions his title of Lorimancer, so I guess that I guess fans try to, you know, show him as a decent guy. Maybe he's a decent guy actually. MC of ridiculous isn't punishable. What do you mean isn't punishable? He's okay. He can't get it lower. This kind of funny trait. I mean, it depends for how long it works. I cannot say because once again, the first episode I was like, oh, yikes, no, thank you. But if it gets better, then that's good. But then again, you said like he cannot get any lower, so I assume he doesn't act better. But still, something this is what I get for giving a chance to something with the title of reincarnation. I think, oh, maybe this time they thought of something more unique, and then it's a flop. So yeah, that one I skipped. I would not recommend. This one was called Snowball Earth, if I remember correctly. It's like getting beaten up and then he smiles and asks what next. Oh, okay. I guess it could work, but once again, I don't see it working on the long run, personally. Because like once again, maybe they managed to find a solution how to make it look like, oh no, it's fine for it to be repeatedly happening. But as like you say, right now, write it down. I was like, I cannot imagine it. I think I missed one. I think I may be missing some anime. Wait, let me check, because I might have accidentally, yeah, I've accidentally added some anime that I didn't. I think I double up some anime that okay, never mind. This one is Snowball Earth. I watched like 2 episodes of it. And it started off pretty interesting because we got a kid who just got into robot like Shinji, but willingly. And he's like, I'm going to save the world. And he actually kept on saving the world in this huge robot. And he was able to like steer him and all of that. But then mission goes wrong. He's socially awkward. He cannot get friends. So like his whole concept is like through the entire story is to make friends. But like he becomes a hero, so everyone like glorifies him, but he's a awkward little fella. But one day like the mission in space goes wrong and the robot just sends him back to Earth so he can survive while he sacrifices himself because like huge axolotl like creatures are taking him down. And our protagonist wakes up like many years later when the world is frozen like in Fire Punch, but without all the 18+ themes. And he tries to handle his situation, tries to make friends because that's what he promised his friend Robot, that I'm going to try, like once we land on Earth, I'm going to try to befriend somebody. And he tries to survive in this cold atmosphere while finding friends, I guess. It's just like, it wasn't bad, but after 2nd episode, I felt like I don't want to watch this. You know, it's like, it's not investing. I don't feel like watching it any further. It's just an anime that will be forgotten about as soon as nobody really will talk about it, because from the very beginning no one really talked about it. So I was like, I'm not going to watch it. Basically, I'm just not going to watch it. Unfortunately, I cannot recommend it because I only watched 2 episodes. I don't think it's it was anything bad. It's probably a wholesome story, but wholesome story in the level of you don't really care that much about it. So what's the point? What's the point? So that was Noble Earth. I cannot say really much more about it because it's like nothing really happens. He wakes up on Earth and then he tries to find people. He fights with a forklift, if I remember correctly. Which I know sounds ridiculous, but he does fight with a forklift and he defeats a creature, and then he learns that, and he finds humans, and those humans apparently use those creatures now, those axolotl-like creatures to like feed themselves or like get oil from them, you know. So he learns more about this new Earth that tries to survive in this cold world. If that somehow got you interested, then you can check it out. Once again, I personally don't think it's that great. I like that it had quite a fast introduction to the concept, but still, it didn't get me engaged in the second episode, unfortunately. And then we have Ramparts of Ice, from the creator of You and I Are Polar Opposites. At first, when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, I don't know about this one. It looks very serious. But then again, I heard, oh, it's from the same creator of You and I Are Polar Opposites, so maybe I should give it a chance. And it's pretty okay. I think I'm halfway the season, so I still have like 7 more episodes. I think what I have problem in here with this anime in comparison to You and I Are Polar Opposites, it tries to be a little bit too serious, but then again, it also tries to be easygoing, and I just don't feel like it's that well balanced out. Then again, maybe it's just like, you know, in my brain, I'm just like, I just wanted another cool anime like You and I Are Polar Opposites, where You and I Are Polar Opposites is great because it's comedy, but it still touches upon like meaningful topics of how to steer through relationships, how to not get like how to accept your personality, how to accept that people accept you for how you are, and you don't have to change yourself, or like you should realize that you are a people pleaser. You know, all those kind of topics appear in You and I Are Polar Opposites. In here, I think it's like, I don't know which one was first, but this one carries heavier topics a little bit, like feeling like you don't fit in your family, feeling lonely, you know, it's like piling up all those negative emotions while you should talk about them and let them go, you know, those kind of, it's more serious. I hate characters here. You hate characters. I think they're much less likable than You and I Are Polar Opposites. They keep trying to make a drama all the time. That's also, I feel like this one is more close to your usual drama romance anime, and because I got used to them, they don't bother me that much. But yeah, it's definitely far from comedy. There are some comedic moments, but they love ending episodes on some kind of cliffhangers. But one thing I have to say, the ending, such a banger. Especially when like they do those cliffhangers and the ending starts to play. I'm like, oh, that's literal chills. That's literal chills. Like I love how well it works out. But then again, the drama usually is stupid and simple and nothing's huge coming out of it. But still, it works so freaking well. I'll try to finish it, but I think it got second season announced. I think. But yeah. Ramparts of Ours are nowhere near You and I Are Polar Opposites. Still, you can check it out. I don't think it's as good. If I were to recommend one from this author, definitely You and I Are Polar Opposites. Everyone is overreacting a lot of times. Keep others in stalemate. I don't know. I would agree. Yeah, they are over. And it's like they are overreacting, and then they're like immediately, I feel bad. I'm sorry. And like, oh, I see. That's it. So that was it. And because I'm fucked up, we have 2 more anime that I want to talk about. This one, which was the Klutzy Class Monitor and the Girl with the Short Skirt. I tried to give it a chance because I thought maybe it's actually going to be kinda okay. It's like wholesome and enjoyable to watch, but it was just there. I cannot even explain it. It's just it's like the story is about the girl who basically wears short skirt and like class monitor who's like, oh, you shouldn't be wearing that, and then they start to understand each other a little bit better. It's like, oh, she thinks that he's doing that just to annoy everybody, but then she learns like there's a meaning behind his actions, and he learns that not being so stiff is also important, you know, like your typical stuff. The guy from the library is funny. His transformation, I didn't get to the guy with the library. I think I've watched one episode and I was like, yeah, no, it's not bad, but it's also like I think the protagonists are just like, for me, they were like, I don't really, you know, your typical tsundere and typical clueless guy. I'm just like, nah. I feel like you can do so much better with different kind of dynamics in comedy, romance, anime. So to go to those kind of stereotypical things is just kind of boring for me. So yeah, I cannot really recommend that because I just dropped it very quickly. After one episode, I knew that I'm probably not going to watch it, so I just like gave it one episode just for the sake of it. The type of Gyaru is not Gyaru at all. Yeah, no, I didn't feel the vibe of Gyaru at all. No, fake Gyaru. And the last one is Mao, from the creator of Inuyasha, which, you know, I love Inuyasha. Inuyasha is one of the first anime that I've watched, one of the first longer anime that I've watched. It holds a lot of great memories, and I think a lot of people feel nostalgia towards Inuyasha. And obviously, not only Inuyasha has been created by this author. Let me bring out more. Takahashi Rumiko also created Ranma and a Half, which recently got a reboot. Urusei Yatsura, which also got a reboot recently, and it's not even the first reboot it got, you know. We do not talk about Inuyasha's sequel though, because I mean not the sequel that's the legit sequel, but the one where it's like about kids of Sesshomaru, because this shit ass, we do not like it, nobody likes it, I hate it, I gave it rating 1. When it comes to Mao, the biggest problem with Mao is that the characters are boring. They have little to no personality. Basically, they're just like, oh, okay, I see. I'm going to do that now. I'm explaining to you why it's happening. Okay, fine. What are we going to do? Okay, now I'm going to kick this character's ass because I have superpowers. Oh, I have superpowers too, so I'm going to do this instead. And you know, it's just like so boring and unappealing. You just watch those characters talk and you're like, are you going to show any emotions? Like the girl is sometimes, huh? What are you doing? But then she's immediately like, you know what? It's fine. She's just so, they just don't care. They just don't freaking care what's happening. So unfortunately, I think that Rumiko-san is just like, you already created so much, maybe give it a rest. I mean, I won't stop her from writing a story if she still wants to do that, but trust me, lady, it's not going anywhere. This is nowhere near of what you used to do, of what you could write as a story. This is a no-no from me and for a lot of Inuyasha fans probably. So yeah, Ranma and a Half had its charm, even though it was like crazy ecchi harem at points and quite repetitive. Urusei Yatsura, same thing, quite repetitive, but had its own charm. Inuyasha, obviously, leaning more into adventure romance, so it was way more unique for her to write something like that. And it was so good, but Mao doesn't give the same feeling, unfortunately. So yeah. That was it. That was all from the season of spring 2026. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I hope that, you know, right now. I know a lot of you guys are watching anime with me, and you watch quite a lot of anime, so you probably do not need those recommendations. But just in case, if somebody here, or maybe somebody will drop later on after I finish the stream, they will be like, oh, maybe I missed out something in this season, and I hope it will help them. Yeah, of course. Maybe that will help them out later on, finding what kind of anime they could, you know, like they could watch. So honorable mention from me, Kamina Botan. For me, second best anime in this season. I thought it would be a light-hearted anime where some girls just hang out and drink and nothing would really happen, but suddenly the plot really picked up. The characters were really well written, and were the relationships between them. All three Yuri couples were well written with deep reflections and comparisons. Maybe I'll watch it one day, because like the thing about it is just you never know. This is the problem with shoujo ai, so like girls love anime these days, like because a lot of them barely do anything with the theme, like with the you know, relationships, or they're just like they're cheaply done. You stop trusting those kind of anime, you know, and because of that, when I've seen that, I was like, oh, I don't know about that, but I can trust you, Benyu, that it could have been like that. So I'm not going to deny that fact, because I know that deep inside there could be more of those kind of good shows. Wait, let me so absolutely, maybe I'll be able to catch up to it one day. But right now I have to catch up to what I have not finished yet, and somehow adjust to this new season, which thankfully I don't think is going to be too much for me, because once again, a lot of anime. So far, all I've seen, I liked, or at least most of them. Wait, let me check a little bit. We still have a little bit of time, so let me just yeah, the Words Dancing, for me, I really like it personally. Reiwa no Dara-san, I was the first episode, I was like, okay, no, that's not it. Yani Neko, I couldn't count it as watching it, so I do not, but it's disgusting shit. Jadugar, Witch of Mongolia, oh my god, amazing. I still have to watch the I Don't Walk Jan, or however, Sparks of Tomorrow. I enjoyed it a lot. You and I Are Polar Opposites, second season. Very cute sea star. The mermaid anime, Sayonara Lara, for now I don't know where it's going to happen, but it was very, very, very introductory like episode, so I wouldn't rate it just yet. I wouldn't give up on it just yet. Ghost in the Shell I have to watch. Grand Blue is Grand Blue. I enjoyed it. And is that everything that I've seen? Yeah, there's still some that have not come out, or at least I haven't seen them coming out, or maybe I didn't notice them coming out. Goodbye Lara, very good. I really like the animation and stylistics, but the story itself right now, it's like, it was a very slow first episode, but I do want to know where it goes. I'm not giving up on it. So let me just quickly check who I can send you to. Who's there? Who's there? Who's there where we can send you to? Who? Who? Maybe I will send you to Oshiriko. She's an amazing singer, guys. So for now, watching 30 anime, I hope there will be less than 20 in 2 weeks. Dude, what the heck? I would never. Wait, she's still streaming? I need to check. Because it would be embarrassing. I mean, it never happened, right? It never happened that. No, it's like an hour ago, so she should keep on going. Oshiriko is playing Outer Wilds. She's an amazing singer, so please check out her covers or songs. Let me save that. And for today, thank you so much. I'll try my best to get rid of the reflux in upcoming days, which may be hard because I feel like the pills are not working. But I'll try my best to get rid of that. And next stream on Tuesday will be doodling. Yay! today, and after that I have to make a thumbnail for a new game. I do remember that I said something about our members will know what games will be upcoming, so I'll be thinking about making this kind of graphics tomorrow or on the weekend sometime. Right now I gotta take a shower and rest a little bit. Thank you for today. Have a nice weekend. Until next time. Bye bye.